Merry Christmas, beautiful family. So it's Christmas Eve. I don't know when I'll get this uploaded. And normally at this time of year, I have made numerous videos about mysticism and the Nativity and Jesus Christ and so on and so forth. And I don't want to do that this year, but what I do want to say very quickly. Christmas Day is for many a celebration of a message brought to us by a wonderful child who grew to be a man who carried a heart of pure love and a message expressed of pure love. And it is a message that I can say myself during times of seeking God had written in my own heart during fasting and prayer, and thankfully what was written on my heart stayed with me and influenced the man that I was in this world, and the expression of life that was coming through me altered greatly once I understood that message internally. Once I had it written inside me, I had heard it, it had spoken to my soul, it had spoken to my heart, and now it speaks from within me instead of coming from without, from this great teacher that many will be celebrating the birth of tomorrow. I feel it coming from inside of me. I feel it coming from an organic place within, a seed within. And I think this is a beautiful understanding that you can receive this message from a teacher externally or from a teacher internally. Now, there are also many of you who do not agree with the narrative around the Christian Christmas, and understandably so, because dates have gotten mixed up, and we all know that we are, of course, at a time of the winter solstice, and we are celebrating light overcoming dark. We are celebrating the fact that we survived the winter in the Northern Hemisphere, and this is where that traditional holiday came from. It came from following the sun and understanding the sun's relationship to us. And I've said over and over the years that I don't believe that Jesus Christ wanted us to separate from that. I don't believe the Bible wants us to separate from that. That is why in my older videos on this topic, you see me expressing that the journey of the sun in the sky at this time of year is clearly reflected in the life path of the man Yeshua Christ as well. But I think wherever you are with it, whether you're looking at the side of the solstice, and we are celebrating this profound energy where the 3 shortest days of the year are over and the sun will rise again tomorrow, or if you are celebrating the birth of Christ and this beautiful child that grew into a beautiful man and a great teacher to us all, who has brought a message of love as a way, as a potential way into our hearts for thousands of years now. Or perhaps you are neither of those. Perhaps you simply enjoy the more consumerist side of it, but rather than focusing on the consumerist, you see it as an opportunity to get together with family and share love and share joy. Others use this time of year to be more charitable, to be more caring and loving. And we see that in the life that I lead. I see it reflected in the lives of the children. We have more children at Christmas time coming out of child labour, getting into school than any other time of the year. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Church bells have just started where I am. Wherever you fall on this sphere, I think we have to look, for me as an individual, and say, what is it that we truly do celebrate? And it's love, guys. It's finding the overcoming the dark. If it's a pagan solar holiday of the solstice, you're celebrating light being victorious over dark. If you're celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ, you're celebrating the light and the love of the great Messiah overcoming the dark. If you are simply spending time with your loved ones and you are just enjoying time together and being jovial, you are celebrating the light, and you are celebrating the better days, like the days we get together and do that, rather than the days that we are alone and working and not with the ones we love, or we are struggling as we have in this year. And ultimately, the light overcoming the dark is, I see this as the journey that holidays like Christmas should live forevermore for. When I look back at the year that we've just had, so I've had a blessed year in as I have a new son, Akila, who was born this year. My family and I are healthy. We've had a miraculous year. But this time last year, you may recall, things were very different for me on a personal level. I was very sick. So I have much to be thankful for. But when you look at what happened to us collectively as a family, and I refer to this year's horrendous situation with the economy and the pandemic, etc., I just want to say that if you can see anything in what we do that makes you, that lights up your heart, that ignites you, that fuels you, motivates you, as I hope it does, then this year should be a testimony to that. Whilst many charities closed down, sadly many could not fundraise, I think they said more than half of UK charities will be bankrupt by the end of the year. We have grown in that time. And that's a testimony to the God we serve, but also to the community that is behind us. The community that has said no to the dark and yes to the light in where we are working in our area of the world. They have said, no, this dark is not okay. Let us shine light on it. And this year, our team has expanded. Despite the economic hardships of the planet, our team expanded. We have more employees because we have more children. Our family expanded. Our village expanded. We opened a new home dedicated for mums and newborn babies or babies in crisis. When much was failing and falling around us, God gave us the light to grow. And He did that with the support network and the family extended around the world that is listening to me now. And often throughout my week, and this happens to me every week, I always give thanks for you guys. It might not be every day, but at some point in my week, more than once as well, I spend time giving focused thanks to each and every one of you. And to be in the middle of that is extremely overwhelming. It's profoundly overwhelming for me as a man, to be in the center of all of this love and compassion that is coming through to these children, and to be the one blessed to be their voice for persons out there in the world to hear. I'm so lucky, and I can't express, I really can't express how nourishing it is for me in the spiritual sense. It's so nourishing for my being, that you can almost neglect your physical body because you feel so fulfilled and you don't feel a need to look after it. And I've literally witnessed that with myself. That's how overwhelmingly, profoundly, perfectly beautiful it is to be in the middle of this. But this year, despite the hardships, I have only seen God's hand move. I've only seen God's love expressed, and I've only seen some absolutely awesome and miraculous human beings that make up the community listening to me now make themselves available, make their hearts louder than their heads to make that possible. And really all I wanted to say, as I've gone on 10 minutes now, I really just wanted to say thank you for getting us through this very difficult year. And not only getting us through it, but allowing us to bring in more children in need and the additional staff, not just caregivers. I'm talking physiotherapists and occupational therapists, persons who are educated and have a higher salary, people who we need desperately, and also at the same time they have families of their own, they must survive. And to be able to bring those persons in during an economic climate and a global climate like this, to be able to grow on our family and our team like that, it's just a testimony to the greatness of you guys and the greatness of the God who started all of this. And that's what I want to say this Christmas. I just want to say thank God for all of you, and thank God for God himself. Because look around at what's happening with us, and I think I hope that many can't help but see the hand of God working constantly in all that we are doing. And I give great thanks that we have conquered what was often a dark year for many. And we've come through with a lot of light and a lot of thanks. And we've made it as an organisation, and we've made it even stronger at the other end, with many blessings lined up for the next year ahead. And I am so excited to show you all of that. But I'll cut this video now and leave it with Merry Christmas, guys. We love you all. We can't do this without you.